The Russian engineering company Vityaz dispatched a new batch of its all-terrain vehicles, including military variants, to the Arctic for testing under the region's harsh conditions. This move comes as the company reports a significant uptick in production, with output rising nearly 30% over the past year, driven by growing demand for both civilian and military models. The tests, taking place in Russia's far north and Arctic zones, aim to evaluate how these machines perform in extreme cold, snow, and rugged terrain. Vityaz, a long-standing player in Russia's industrial sector, has built a reputation for crafting vehicles capable of tackling environments where ordinary transportation fails. The deployment of this latest batch highlights both the company's engineering ambitions and Russia's broader strategic priorities in one of the world's most unforgiving regions. The vehicles in question are part of Vityaz's signature lineup of articulated tracked carriers designed to haul heavy loads across swamps, sand, and deep snow. Among the models produced by the company are the DT-10, DT-20, and DT-30, each named for their respective payload capacities of 10, 20, and 30 tons. These machines feature a unique two-unit design, with a front section housing the engine and driver's cabin and a rear section connected by a flexible joint, allowing them to navigate obstacles like ditches or ice flows that would stop most other vehicles. The military versions, such as the DT-30PM, come equipped with enhanced features like reinforced chassis and, in some cases, mounts for weapon systems. Production of these models kicked off decades ago in the Soviet Union, but Vityaz has since refined them to meet modern demands. Last year alone, the company's output surged, a sign of rising interest from both domestic and international buyers, though exact figures on the number of vehicles produced remain undisclosed. For the Russian military, these all-terrain vehicles serve a critical role in transporting troops, equipment, and supplies across vast, inaccessible areas. In the Arctic, where roads are scarce and temperatures can plummet to -50 degrees Celsius, the ability to move reliably is a logistical lifeline. Beyond the polar regions, these machines have seen action closer to the front lines. During the ongoing war in Ukraine, which began in 2022, Vityaz vehicles like the DT-30 have been spotted in combat zones. The decision to test this new batch in the Arctic reflects more than just military strategy. It's an engineering necessity. The region's extreme conditions push machines to their limits, revealing weaknesses that might not surface elsewhere. Deep snow can bog down tracks, ice can strain engines, and sub-zero temperatures can cause metal to brittle or electronics to fail. For Vityaz, these trials are a proving ground to ensure their vehicles can handle the worst the far north has to offer. Engineers monitor how the tracks grip frozen surfaces, how the engines perform after hours in the cold, and whether the articulated design can still flex over uneven terrain without snapping under stress. Success here doesn't just mean better military hardware. It also boosts the civilian models used by oil and gas workers, geologists, and others who operate in Russia's remote northern territories. The Arctic's isolation demands equipment that doesn't break down when help is days away, and Vityaz aims to deliver exactly that. Russia's focus on the Arctic goes beyond engineering challenges, though. The region holds immense strategic value for the country, both economically and militarily. Melting ice due to climate change has opened up new shipping routes, like the Northern Sea Route, which Russia sees as a future artery for global trade. Beneath the seabed lie vast reserves of oil and natural gas. Estimates suggest up to 15% of the world's remaining oil and 30% of its natural gas deposits sit in the Arctic. For a nation where energy exports account for a hefty chunk of revenue, securing these resources is a priority. Militarily, the Arctic houses key assets like the Northern Fleet, based on the Kola Peninsula, which includes submarines carrying nuclear deterrence. Testing Vityaz vehicles here ties directly into Moscow's goal of maintaining a robust presence, ensuring it can move troops and equipment quickly if tensions flare. The Kremlin has spent years rebuilding bases and deploying forces along its northern frontier, a signal it intends to protect its claims. Russia's Vityaz vehicles give it an edge in mobility, but rivals are countering with technology like drones and advanced surveillance to offset their smaller ground presence. The West's challenge, the analysis suggests, lies in matching Russia's established infrastructure without escalating tensions into open conflict. The Arctic's transformation from a frozen backwater to a geopolitical hotspot has drawn in non-Arctic players too. China, dubbing itself a near-Arctic state, has poured money into research and shipping projects, eyeing the northern sea route as a shortcut for its exports. Yet the war in Ukraine has stretched Russia's resources, raising questions about how long it can sustain this Arctic push. Losses of Vityaz carriers in combat, combined with sanctions hitting industrial supply chains, could slow production or force trade-offs between fronts. As of March 2025, the latest batch of Vityaz all-terrain vehicles is undergoing its Arctic trials, with results likely to shape the company's next steps. The nearly 30% production increase reported for 2024 reflects strong demand, but it's unclear how much of that growth comes from military orders versus civilian needs. The tests themselves are ongoing, with no public data yet on how many vehicles are involved, or how they're faring in the cold. What is clear is that Vityaz remains a key player in Russia's Arctic toolkit, bridging engineering prowess with strategic goals. Whether that translates to lasting dominance in the far north, or sparks sharper pushback from other nations, depends on factors beyond just the machines themselves. For now, the snow-covered proving grounds of the Arctic hold the answers, as Vityaz and Russia alike test their limits in a region that's only growing in importance.